Good afternoon, folks. It's C4FM ID. Hope everyone's having a good Labor Day weekend and so forth. So today I was putting together some material I thought might be helpful for folks, especially getting their new radios, and just kind of share with you some things that I've learned that might get you a little bit quicker, a little bit more quickly started. So the things I'll cover today, I was going to show you how to adjust the time, how to set your call sign in the radio, and also some adjustments you can make on some of the LEDs and some of the display settings and so forth. So anyway, I thought these things might be helpful just to get you started. One of the things I learned was when you're working HF, particularly when you're making QSOs and logging them, for example in QRZ, you will work the contact in what they call GMT time, or Greenwich Mean Time, Zulu time in other words. That's the standard time used by military aircraft. I learned this like talking to American Airlines. When they go up in the air, they switch to Zulu time, so I thought that was pretty cool. So I thought I would kind of go through and show you some stuff real quick on that. So first thing I'll do to set the time is, and I've got all this, I'll post it in the below in the video so you can have the steps. But the first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to press and hold the menu setup key. Now what will happen is when you press and hold this key here, watch what happens down here. Okay, you see we got the little adjustments here. So the next thing we'll do is we're going to tap the time and date. Now it's asking us for the date, so what I'm going to do is I have a web link that I'm going to post in this email or in the video, and it actually gives us the date and time, and I'm going to go ahead and locate that email right, or that web link right now, and we'll open it up and we'll take a look and see what the time is and the date. Also the date, that's important. So what we'll look at is right now is on GMT time. It's still Monday, but the GMT time is 20:52. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to correct that, and the first thing I'll do is the date is going to be 09. Actually, what we'll do first is we'll tap time, and when we tap time, what we're looking for right up here is, notice the Z right there. The Z indicates Zulu time. So I want to make sure that's Zulu time and that's non-Zulu time. That would be, for example, if you were to set it to my local time now is 3:53, but I'm going to press Zulu. Now Zulu time on the website that I have is 20:53, so I'm going to type 2053 and I'm going to press enter. Okay, now the time is set correctly. Now, like I said, one thing you'll make sure you have the Z there, and if the Z's not there, you can press time once, and that'll put the Z there for Zulu time. And again, the time is 20:54. Okay, then you press enter, and then you're done. Press back. Now the next thing we'll want to do is we'll set the date. So to do that, we press the time and date again. Now we press date, and it's still Monday on Zulu time, but it's 9 o'clock over there. So it's going to be 09/06/2021. Whoops. 09/06/2021. Whoops. 09/06/2021. Okay, now the date is correct. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and tap enter again, and now we're done. So we're going to press the menu and setup button once to clear this portion of the screen, and now we're done. So now we have the date set to 20:54, which is Zulu time, and we also, the time is set to Zulu time, and then we also have the date. So we can go back and look at those real quick. Okay, the date's correct, and the time is correct. So the reason this is important is, we'll clear this out, is if you have a new radio, I would recommend setting your radio for Zulu time, because that is what everyone uses on HF. Because otherwise, if you're using your local time, it's just going to get confusing. Alright, the next thing we'll do is we will talk about how to input your call sign. So for example, if you have a 991A and maybe you and your brother or your dad or whoever uses it, you might want to change your call sign when you're making C4FM calls, because what happens is the person receiving the call will get confused because he will hear a call sign but he'll see a different call sign, and it creates a moment of having to explain it, and you know, they get it, but it just adds some additional clarification on the initial cue. So to change the radio ID when you transmit, the first thing we'll do is again press the menu, set up and hold, and watch what happens down here. Okay, now the next thing we'll do is we will press my call. Now this is where you'll enter the call sign. So this is my call sign, but say for example if Dad was going to use the radio, he would type in K, and you have to press here to get the numbers, K5, press here again to get the alphabet, EHL, and then you could just clear that one off there. Now, when you transmit on the radio, it will transmit K5EHL. But say I want to work Texas Nexus one evening, I'll go in and do this. I'll clear all this out. I'll type in KI5JUF. I'll press enter. Now when I transmit on Texas Nexus, for example, now they'll see my call sign KI5JUF. So it'll be a little bit clearer, but that's just one point. Like say maybe multiple people are using the radio in your household. It's just a good thing to do. That way it just avoids confusion, because when you make a contact on C4FM, they're going to see most likely the mileage from the QSO, and they're also going to see the call sign. So it just, again, it makes it quicker. You can look at the call sign, and if it matches what you're calling on, it just makes the quick QSO go a lot smoother and a lot easier. Alright, so the other thing I'll show you is, say for example, there's a setting called call sign initiation. So let me show you how that works. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the radio off. Now when I turn the radio back on, you'll see this display here. I've got it set to 1 second, but let me show you, say for example, if you want to turn it off or if you want to set it for 5 seconds, I'll show you how to do that on the initial startup of the radio. The first thing we'll do is we'll press the menu setup button quickly, and that brings up our menu. Now we're going to locate option number 5, and that is going to be this guy right here. My call sign indication is set for 1 second. So if I wanted to change that, what I would do is I would press select. Notice how it becomes purple. Now I have control of it with the multifunction knob. I'm going to change it to 5 seconds. I'm going to press enter. I'm going to press back. Now when I turn off the radio, watch what happens now. Okay, we turn it back on. Now it's going to stay up for 5 seconds. Not a big deal. I mean, you might want to see it. It might give you a chance to verify when you power up the radio that if you're going to use the radio and someone else in the family had previously programmed their call sign, you would be able to see it at that moment. You would be able to say, okay, this is Dad was on here earlier, but I'm going to make a call, so I need to go in and adjust the call sign on the radio, so that way they'll be able to, when you do a C4FM call, they'll be able to recognize your call sign, and it'll be a much quicker QSO. So I think that's pretty much all I got here. There's a few other quick things I'll show you while we're in the menu. One of them are some color options, and what we'll do here to set the VFO color, you can press menu quickly, and you can go to number 6, and when I press 6, look what happens here. We have the display color. Now I have control of it. So default is blue, but if you wanted to say change it to gray, green, orange, purple, red, that's kind of a pretty cool color. Let's try red. So I like what I see there. I'm going to press enter and press back. Now the display is red. If I wanted to change it back, select number 6 again, select. I'm going to change it back to blue. I like blue. Enter, back. The other thing I'll show you is, say for example, if you wanted to set the dimness on these LEDs, say for example you're working in an area that's kind of dark, what you could do is you could go in and press this again, and you'll locate number 7. Now 2 is the default. Watch what happens when I press select. Now watch when I turn this. Notice the LED intensity drops. There's setting number 1. There's setting number 2. So you can change the intensity. We'll leave it on 2. Now the next thing I'll do is I'll show you the intensity of the display. So let's say for example I'm going to turn the dimmer to 1. Now it's dimmer. Press enter to save it. Now the dimmer on the TFT, which is the display here, we could also dim it by pressing select, and we could turn it brighter all the way up to 15, or we could turn it all the way down to 1 to 0. So say for example if you're working the radio at night, you could turn the TFT display down, and you could also turn the VFO LED. So it would be not as bright, like kind of like your lights on your dashboard of your car. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. That's everything. I'll put everything back. The TFT is set to 8. You can see 8 is the default. Press enter. Go up here and change the LED dimmer. We'll change that back to 2. Now it just got brighter. Now the radio's back in the defaults. So that's everything. Again, this is just kind of a quick video. I thought, you know, there's a lot of new guys getting their radios finally from Yeasu. Some of them are actually starting to ship. So I thought these kind of things might be of interest to you. You know, important thing is run your clock at Zulu time. Verify your call sign is in fact your call sign on the C4FM. That's important. And other than that, the others are just kind of fun stuff. You can set it up any way you like it. So anyway, that's the video from Steve K5JUF. Y'all have a wonderful Labor Day and a good week. And again, appreciate everybody watching. Thanks for all the subscribers. We've been dabbling in some SDR stuff, and we're going to continue to work on that. So yesterday's project was kind of a kickstart just to at least get something up, so I could at least kind of get an idea initially how it works. And like I said, we'll keep digging in, and if anybody's got anything else of interest you can share with me, or suggestions or anything, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And again, thanks again, Steve K5JUF. Have a great week. Appreciate it.